echo ultrasound, I think that's what it's called, and a regular ultrasound, and then meeting with the doctors. So today we're just praying for good news from here on out. And yes, just want to let you guys know we're on our way there. I'm a little anxious, but I'm just putting it all in God's hands, because that's all I can do, and that's what gives me peace of mind to get through this.
Just that it sounds like these echo ultrasounds take a long time.
Now we watched some videos on YouTube of people who've had him, and it's like an hour to an hour and a half long. So I think we'll be there for a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, but hopefully all good news afterwards. Yeah. Hi everybody! So it's been a few days since our appointment. The appointment we talked about in our last update was May 3rd. So we went to that one, and then we had another appointment on Tuesday. So we're just here to talk about what happened at those appointments. We want to say thank you again for all the love and support that we've received over the last couple weeks. Ever since our video went up, we've been getting a lot of people just praying for us and wishing us the best, and it really means a lot when we see these comments. It makes, I don't know, just uplifting. Yes, that's the right word. Sorry, you guys are gonna hear our Annabella over here running around and talking. She gets excited when we bring out the ring light. We would have done this update a while ago, but I ended up getting sick. I had like some stomach flu or something. I don't know what it was, but I was not up for doing anything, so this is just the time that we've finally gotten around to it. We went into our first appointment with the high-risk doctor May 3rd. Well, not the first, but first out of the two that we're going to talk about. You know, I've just been praying and staying positive and hoping for a miracle, and I know, you know, it takes time, and we didn't walk out with horrible news from what we've explained in the previous blog. So we did get a little bit of good news though. Everything wasn't like shocking like the first time, because you know we've already been through it at first, and how, you know, everything they've told us. One good news that we did get is that the baby B does have 4 chambers. The way the pediatric cardiologist explained it was his heart arteries are transversed, is the word he used. So if they're supposed to go like this, they're like this, or no?
They're supposed to go like this, but they're parallel. The blood flow from one chamber is going to the wrong place, and the blood flow from another chamber is going to the wrong place, and they need to be switched.
Yes, and then they said that that is something they could do, and it's not something that it would, as soon as the baby's born, need to be done. He was pretty confident that they could wait until the baby is full term. So say that we were to go into labor at 32 weeks, which is ideal, like we would wish, just praying that we can get there, then the baby can wait till he's 40 weeks. So that was good news, right?
Yeah, I think it's relatively good news. We went from expecting surgery right away, so
or maybe even sending him to UCLA.
Well, yeah, that creates a lot of complications. So if we were having the heart condition that we initially thought, where we're looking at 3 chambers, maybe 3.5 chambers, one of the chambers would have to be split so that the blood from that single chamber could go to all the different parts of the body, to the lungs and to the rest of the body. The complication with that is, it sounds like if that were the case, that needs to be done immediately, as soon as the baby is born, which could be as early as 24 weeks, as late as 32. And if you are doing it on a very premature baby, only hospital on the west side that could do it would be UCLA. So now we're looking at splitting the babies up, possibly splitting ourselves up.
But that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, so right now it's definitely looking like that's not the case.
Like
as
they could do it here in Vegas.
As the babies have gotten bigger, we can see that they have 4 chambers, so the surgery is going to be a little bit different. Now it's not looking like it needs to be done immediately as soon as the baby's born. They can wait and get it done when the baby gets the term. I mean, that's where we're at as of right now. I mean, we have to go back at 20 weeks and we'll really know for sure what's going on. At this point, these are basically the theories of what they're seeing.
Yes.
The doctor did say that he's got 4 chambers, so they were very confident in that.
Yeah, even our OB, when we went to our second appointment that we're talking about, the first one was with the high risk, second one was with my regular OB, and he saw it himself.
Yes.
He said, if you asked me for my opinion, this is what I think. And he's like, he showed us the lines, and it's incredible how they can see all that on such a small baby. He's like,
the heart's 1 centimeter.
1 centimeter, you guys. It's like this big. He showed us like the lines on the ultrasound screen. He's like, you see this, you see this. He has 4 chambers. He's like, but if you ask me, everything looks like it's pointing the opposite direction.
Which
so
is what creates the
yeah,
transfusion of the arteries. It's because the heart is facing a different way.
yeah. So it's like the way Jared explained it. It's like if baby B is a mirror image of baby A.
Yeah, the heart is like a mirror.
Yeah, the heart. Another thing that we did find out though is baby B's bladder is really big. If any of you have dealt with that in your pregnancies, please let us know in the comments what happened throughout the pregnancy. Does it correct itself? That's something they said that could happen, but as of now it looks like something is blocking for him from being able to pee. It looks like they said that he probably can little by little, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they said if it gets super ginormous, and then that's an issue, because they said it could get really big to the point that it can cause the baby to have heart failure, which of course that's horrifying to even think of.
Especially since obviously baby B already has other issues with its heart. So one of the concerns that the cardiologist was noticing is that the heart valves were pumping out the blood well, and when they would close up, they were letting blood leak back into the heart. That causes the heart to have to work overtime to keep pumping out the blood, and that could also, if the leakage gets greater, it could result in heart failure. So you're looking at 2 different things that could be putting a lot of stress on the heart. So, and
then on baby A, he still looks good, but they did see that his heart has a little hole in it, but they were not concerned about it because they said that they see this a lot, and typically by the time they get to term, the hole closes up. We saw this on Teen Mom too. I don't know if you guys are Teen Mom fans. Don't judge. I don't know. I've been watching Teen Mom since 16 and pregnant, and one of the girls on there recently, that her baby had 3 holes, I think, 2 or 3 holes, and this was after she was born. But they ended up closing on their own. So that's good. That's good to know.
And that's the thing, where we're at right now, everything is,
there's so little.
Yeah.
So even our OB, right? He was like, you're not going to know for sure until about 4 weeks from now.
Yeah.
When they get their full anatomy scan.
Another full echo, and then we'll be able to say concretely what we think is going on.
Yeah.
The only things we can say for sure at this point is that the baby is showing 4 chambers,
so
4
that's
functioning chambers.
It's really good.
And there is definitely something abnormal with the heart on top of that. Like, they can clearly see that this baby is going to need surgery.
Yeah.
What the doctor said, surgeries, because it's going to be done in phases, as we've said before, as the baby gets bigger. That there's probably a 0 likelihood that there's not going to be some need for some form of surgery. Why we think it's relatively good news, one of the things that I think is relatively good news about it is, though, since we're not doing the split chamber, that would have more of a long-term effect on the baby's basically quality of life, because when they take one chamber and split it, you're getting the blood where it needs to go, but you're not getting as much blood to those parts of the body. So since the lungs are not going to be working as well, although fully healthy, and the rest of the body that's getting the blood flow, it would affect the baby's ability, and even as they grow into, a young adult, their ability to be active. So
yeah. So it sounds
with this new surgery, we're looking at something that can be obviously corrected, and then there's not going to be any long-standing concerns as far as how it could affect the baby's quality of life as they grow. They'll still need other surgeries as they get bigger, because obviously as the heart gets bigger, they have to keep, adjusting, I guess. But at least it won't have to have, it could at least live a very similar active lifestyle to, its twin, which I think is good news, because it would be sad if one twin's active playing sports and the other one's being kind of steered away from those sorts of things, because we know it's going to put a lot of strain on the heart, and he won't be able to participate with what his brother's doing, because you would expect that, they're going to be fairly close and want to be doing very similar activities together. So to me that's good news. But as of right now, it's still kind of a wait and see what is the for sure situation. I mean, Dr. Joe's observation about the heart pointing in the wrong direction seems like a pretty good one. Cardiologist didn't mention anything like that. But we'll see what happens.
Our next appointment, the cardiologist wants to see us again this coming week, but we don't know if it's for another echo. If it's for another echo, we might just postpone it, because there's so little still, and our OB recommended that we shouldn't do another one up until
it's just
the
not
20
necessary, because we're going to do one again
scan.
The 20-week scan. That's going to be the one that tells us everything we really need to know. So another echo between now and then is just maybe giving us a little better image in what's going on. But if we have to go back again, because these are not they're not inexpensive.
With insurance, it's still pretty expensive appointments, so everything's adding up. But I mean, we'll get through it. But then again, I just want to remind you guys the type of pregnancy it is. It's not like they're in 1 sac and a 2 sac. They're together, so they're skin to skin, and they're called MoMo Twins, as we explained before. Mono. Oh. I don't know the words. Mono.
1 sac, 1 placenta. Let's just, in layman's terms.
I will just list all that information in the description bar. But yes, they're in 1 sac, 1 placenta. There's no membrane in between them, so we're still facing cord entanglement. They are not able to tell us. When I asked my regular OB if he could see the cords, how they're looking, he said that machine he was using, he cannot see it. But
even the echo couldn't see it.
They really couldn't see it.
The only sign of cord compression that from what I can tell, that they can act, even once you're admitted to the hospital, is by monitoring the heart rate. If the heart rate drops, then they know there's something serious going on, which is the main result of cord compression, is the blood flow is cut off like a kink in a hose, and that drops the heart rate rather drastically over an extended period of time. If it doesn't come back up, then they know they have to do some sort of surgery or operation. So
I mean,
all we can do is listen to the heart rate, and we've got the little Doppler. And
so we ended up buying this. It's a baby Doppler to hear the baby's heartbeats. The thing about this though is that it's kind of hard to see if you're listening to a different heart, or maybe you're listening to the same one, because you don't know if they're moving. They're so little, they're just swimming around in there. But sometimes we're pretty confident, like we'll find a heart like over here, and then we'll find one over here at like within a second. So
and then you go back and forth, and they're both still there. So
so this at least helps us a little bit, but it does also make you anxious when you can't find them.
Sometimes it's harder than others. They're
so
hiding a little deeper in there.
But at the same time, we are in God's hands, and this is out of our hands, so we'll just keep praying and hoping for the best. We're staying pretty positive, it's the one thing to me that gets me through every day is just knowing that I can't do anything about it, and I believe in God, and I have so much faith that we'll get through this. I used to see my life with 3 babies, and I just feel like I'm gonna cry. I just feel like it's kind of like a sign that maybe I do know that we're gonna be okay.
Yes, and that's all you can do. Stay positive, you stay hopeful. And you live every day like everything's going great, everything's perfectly fine. I mean, it's like they describe it as a roller coaster, because it is an up and down thing. So like after every appointment, you just kind of, or anytime you're talking to, like we've talked to family members, trying to help them understand what's going on, because a lot of people don't really understand the risk involved. And when you talk to them at first, they're like, oh, everything's gonna be fine, but they don't realize that
they don't know what we're living.
The percentages are not always on our side, and every day it gets a little more you know, it gets a little scarier because as they grow, that's when the risks become greater and greater. But we do know that once we get to that cutoff point, once we're admitted into the hospital, that the chances of success increase greatly. So that's just between now and then, that's our goal. So yeah, we just want to get to that 24, 26 week mark, because once we get to that mark, we know that chances of, you know, being able to deliver successfully go up. Then you have the, you know, the second thing about dealing with the heart surgery. And
I mean, they don't guarantee it though, because, you know, I'll remind you guys that I'm going inpatient at 24 weeks pregnant. It's less than 2 months away. But that doesn't guarantee anything, you know? They don't guarantee anything. They just want to monitor you more.
Yes, but the fact that you're in the hospital, the fact that you are being monitored is what increases the chances of a successful delivery. It could still be very early in the pregnancy, but because you're there, you're in the hospital, they're prepared, they're ready at a moment's notice that these things, you know, that this C-section, emergency C-section can happen at any time. You know, the chances increase a great deal.
Yes.
As for right now, there's nothing we can do, there's nothing the doctors can do, there's nothing that can be done between now and that 24-week mark.
You know, it's funny, on a side note, how Jared once told me, he's like, he's like, you've gotten everything you wanted in this relationship. He said to me, you wanted a baby girl, and we got a baby girl. Mm-hmm. And then...
with my eyes.
And then... with his color eyes. And then he's like, you wanted 3 kids, and I said 2, and we're done. And then we got twins.
Yeah, because we weren't going to have...
yeah, like it was going to be 2 and done.
One, and then,
you know, praying
like
that...
3.
praying that we do have our 2 babies with us one day. We'll have 3 babies, like how I always said. Like I think I want 3 kids, and he's like, nope, we're 2 and done. Our next appointment with the high risk doctor is this coming Friday. I'm currently 17 weeks exact today, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, I changed this is a shirt that I take my weekly picture in. Sorry, I have cat hair on it. So it says, bless this belly, and I think it's just perfect. I'm trying to get them to see my belly. This is my 17-week baby bump. It's huge. Compared to how I was with Annabella.
Yeah.
We're gonna...
barely a bump.
Yeah. We're actually gonna recreate a picture that I posted almost 2 years ago on my Instagram. 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago on my Instagram I was 17 weeks and 3 days pregnant with Annabella, and you could barely see a bump. So we're gonna recreate that picture. Hopefully I still have that shirt. It looks good. You know, it looks the same. If not, something similar. But yeah, you'll see the big difference. I'll be 17 weeks, 3 days on Monday. So we could do that picture then. He is my rock. I will tell you guys, because I have my days where I'm not as my positive self and feeling like how I am right now, because I'm most of the time I'm pretty good, but I have my days where I break down, but he is always there to pick me up, and you're the best. Mm-hmm. You really are, babe. Like, you're the best. I love you.
I love you. So we know what we want for Christmas.
Yeah.
Both babies home healthy.
Jared asked me, what do I want for Mother's Day? And I don't even... like, that's not even on my mind, you guys. All I want, I said, just wash my car.
Take her car to get washed on that.
Yeah, make sure that the car is cleaned inside. Honestly, like, I don't think of anything. It's just not on my mind. It's not on my radar.
Yeah, it's interesting because we are more, I guess, distracted by this than you think you are day to day.
And but the good thing about having a toddler gives you, like, your mind is so busy on her.
That's true.
That like, I remember when we were pregnant with her, it was always like, is she okay? Like, what does this mean? Like, what does that mean? Yeah. And we're still the same, but it's not as much. So I think that's a good thing, because we're not...
takes our mind off of stuff.
Yeah, we're not as... we're a little bit more distracted. You know?
She's very distracted.
Yeah, she is. We're gonna do the Doppler. Hopefully we can find the baby's hearts and you guys can hear. Alright, so I'm just gonna lay here, expose my belly, and Jared's gonna try to find the heartbeats. Annabella's gonna come over here soon and she'll want her belly done too. Right here. Can you do the volume up? Hear that? That's one heartbeat. So then the hard thing is trying to find the other one because sometimes they're right on top of each other.
I think they are right now.
I think the baby might be like deep in.
Yeah, it's very faint.
But you can hear it. And then go back down here. See if you can hear the other one.
Yeah, that one I hear pretty clear.
Wait. Are you sure it's not the same heart?
I'm pretty sure.
So we hear one baby right here and then there's another one over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we narrowed it down.
Yay.
Okay.
Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you again so much for watching and thank you for all your love and support. We really appreciate it. We'll continue to update. We're gonna, I don't know, try to do blogs and try to be more active. It's just been a little hard, but
yep, definitely keep updating.
I want to update every time we go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have, I don't know, better news. I don't know, something. If not, you know,
more definitive.
More definitive, not something new. Like, I don't know, just praying for my baby's bladder to go back to normal, to fix itself. Yeah. So that's the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can hear more of our updates and our journey throughout this. We'll see you in our next one. Bye.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet.